But my stomach had these issues before I even started smoking weed, so I don't know which it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think you're a maniac. First and foremost, as far as like, oh, I'm nauseous, I'm gonna smoke, like, because I'm so much the other way when it comes to weed. Like, weed does make, like, you remember back in the day when I'd like the few times I took a bong hit at your house and I was just like in your bathroom vomiting for an hour and like, oh, I feel nauseous in the morning, I'm gonna smoke weed. Are you out of your goddamn mind, dude? No, I would never do that.
I shouldn't really say, maybe it isn't nauseous, and maybe I'm just trying to be a hypochondriac here, and I'm saying that I have more of these symptoms than I really do, because it's more about the gut pain, and I do have a very sensitive stomach, and what it does is it'll soothe my stomach. It big time soothes my stomach, and there's like proof behind that actually like being a thing to some degree.
Sure.
And also when you smoke and it triggers a really hard cough, sometimes that'll help with the evacuation, if you will.
Well, yeah, you cough so hard you throw up. Like, no shit.
No, not puking. I'm talking about like I'm on the toilet, my stomach's kind of hurting. I'll take a big rip of weed. It calms my stomach, and then I'm coughing, and it's I wish I could do the sound at once. It's like when you're walking upstairs farting. Each step. It's kind of like that, but with coughing.
So it
really helps get everything out.
You're damaging your lungs, so you cough so hard that you shit, but at least you're already over the toilet.
But no, it helps because like I have troubles feeling like I'm like I finished going to the bathroom. Like I always feel like I have to go. Like there's something in the stomach. So when I have that and like the weed calms down my stomach and then the coughing happens, it actually gets me to a point where I'm like, wow, I actually feel like I shit all my shit out for once in my life, So like, well, it's I've always found that it helps.
We should talk about that for a second, because like you years ago told me that you shit up to like 7 times a day.
We're really getting into the name of our podcast.
We really are. But like, I feel like this is worth discussing. So like, you told me that you shit like up to 7 times a day. Is that still the case?
Well, I'll tell you what. What's funny is, so this is all completely related. Because of how my stomach feels, that I constantly need to go, when I used to be around a bathroom in my home all the time, constantly, I would just constantly be going in there trying to make myself feel better, right?
Okay.
And like sometimes like really forcing it out. Ever since I came up here, like when you have to shit in an outhouse, you better believe you only shit 1 time a day and it takes you about 2 minutes. It's amazing. Like I've never had better bowel movements than when I strictly used an outhouse.
Interesting.
Because you just put it off, you hold it out, and like you wait till you gotta go, and for some reason like all your insides like start working right. Like because I don't know how it works, but like when the option is out of my head. Maybe it's all psychosomatic. Maybe my head just makes my stomach feel uncomfortable and it just makes me try to poop for some freaking reason because I like want to go in the bathroom and, it's like the most private place, nobody will bother you in there. I think that's what it is. I like to hide in the bathroom. I don't have to deal with people. This is when I had like roommates and shit. I know people will leave me alone. And the thought of like when I had all these roommates and whatnot, that made me sick to my stomach, which made me go to the bathroom. A whole chain of things here. But no, I've also changed a lot of my eating habits, and I've found like several things that directly correlate to my gut health, I guess would be the way to say it, and as long as I eat enough vegetables as well, get the right amount of fiber and keep up on it, I actually stay pretty healthy. And I just started taking B12, which actually helps a bit with digestion and getting all the energy out of your food. It like helps break down stuff and like get the calories out and
like
burn
what's
them efficiently, I think.
That's the main supplement in like 5-hour energy and stuff.
Right, yeah. So yeah, it's really good stuff. I like taking it. I take this and then some vitamin D in the winter, and that's about all the vitamins I need. I could probably get a multivitamin, but I like hitting the specific need hard. Like
Speaking of vitamins, there was the last time I went to the doctor, they had to do like this new survey on me, like ask me a bunch of questions, and one of the questions was the nurse asked me, "So, do you identify as a man or a woman?" And my answer was, I said, "I identify as a man, but I do take a women's multivitamin."
Oh boy. So what else is there? Oh man, here's an interesting. This is just a really short thing that I have to just point out, and I don't really. I don't really. I mean, it's not right to make fun of somebody's name. And at first, I was watching the Olympics, like the end of them just before, and I was like, okay, it's somebody from another country, so whatever their name is, it's not. It's like just from that country. But then this girl actually was from the U.S., and I'm like, I gotta find out how she got this name. So I actually still need to look that up probably. But her first name was a thing. Her first name is a thing.
A thing?
A thing.
Oh.
A thing.
For a second, I thought you were going to talk
She's
about
a
Clint
thing.
Symptom.
Oh no, that's a guy. That's a good. That's a good name.
Anyway, go on. So a thing.
A thing. Moo.
Does she have any relation to
you
Kurt
call
Russell?
her a thing? You call her. You get what I'm saying? Oh
no,
shit!
I get it.
All
I
right,
get it.
here we go. So they have a different spelling next to her first name. I bet that her parents must be immigrants, and maybe she came over at like a very young age or something like that.
Okay.
No, she was born in Trenton, New Jersey, second youngest of 7 siblings. Like I said, her parents immigrated to the United States from South Sudan. So yeah, it's got to be like a Sudanese name. There we go. When I first heard it, a thing, I was like, well, that's pretty creative, but it feels kind of cruel, to call your kid a thing.
Well, it got a little talked over before, but I did ask if she was related to Kurt Russell in any way.
Oh, I don't know. Why?
It's a stupid fucking joke. Only because of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a stretch, dude. That is terrible. Are you kidding me?
Funny stuff.
So I had to jump from her name to a movie.
Yep.
And then to a person in the movie. Everybody's not living in your head, right?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do this shit all the time where I'll say stuff and I realize that I did not connect the dots to anybody out loud except only in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, we're working real well together, man. Jesus. Blah, blah, blah.
That was so bad. I am so thrown off by how bad that joke was. I am rattled.
Stool with Matt Nic.
I did get an email recently, and I was, so for context, I am generally liberal, right? Like I consider myself more of a moderate, but definitely left-leaning. And I, in the past, have signed up, or I've signed these petitions for the Sierra Club, which is like a leftist sort of organization in Wisconsin. Basically, mostly
it's a national conservation club.
Yeah. It's exactly as you said. It has to do a lot with conservation, and I've signed a few petitions. Like that has done fuck all. I'm sure. All the same, I keep getting emails from them, and recently I got one from Michael Brune, who is the head of the Sierra Club, I think. And it was saying that 1/3, full headline for this email. Matthew, we need your help. Only 1/3 of Wisconsin's wolf population is left. And I read that and I'm like, fucking good. Like they fucking wolves fucking suck, dude. Like they reintroduced wolves here
Wolves
like 15 years
awesome.
ago, and
and now there's wolf hunting again.
Yeah, well, yeah, now there is, and this is why this email exists. But seriously, like, so I grew up as a sportsman, like in a sportsman family, hunting deer. Wolves were reintroduced into the Wisconsin Northwoods about 15 years ago and almost entirely made white-tailed deer extinct in the fucking state. Like, wolves are a fucking wildlife tornado when you fucking introduce them to a place again. So, like, oh, we need your help to save the wolves. You might as well ask me to help save the fucking mosquitoes, dude. Like, fuck you, dude. like, no. The only reason the wolf population has diminished as much as it has is because they ate everything and then they fucking left. It's not because 200...
No, that is not true, but there were a fuck ton of them back in, like, you can see pictures from, like, the early 1900s, and people got, like, 30 wolves strung up, you know, like, for their pelts and shit. So they were way overhunted.
Yeah, they were. I'm talking about now. Like, yes, they were overhunted back in the day. Ever since they were reintroduced in Wisconsin, like I said, like 15 years ago, it's not like, yes, people do shoot wolves, and like these people in Madison get angry at people in the Northwoods shooting wolves, but they're attacking their livestock every fucking day. So of course they're going to fucking shoot them. So like my point is that yes, like you
got to lock your shit down better than that. But you know,
like you can't expect these people to put up giant like iron walls to keep the fucking wolves out of their cow pens. Like they're going to shoot the wolves if they're attacking their livestock. And wolves have been a huge fucking problem. Like not just to deer, not just to livestock. Like they are a fucking menace. Like it's like introducing like ravenous cockroaches in the natural
sense. If you look at it in the natural sense of things, so like if we hadn't went to the area, right? If people hadn't moved to that part of Wisconsin, or not to like that level that they have. So let's just look at like how things were naturally, just as a base point. This is what I'm trying to say. So there were a fuck ton of wolves up there, right? Before people started going up there, and like this was definitely during like all the logging that happened, like that a lot of like the wolf hunting and shit was going on, you know, as people were starting to like settle it.
Yes.
So, but so what I'm getting at is like when that wolf population was so huge, you have to assume if your argument is that they're the reason that the whitetail population has went down so much, that at that point in time, before we interfered with nature, the natural population of white-tailed deer would have been lower because of the abundance of the wolves. So you're really just wanting there to be more deer. Like you want northern Wisconsin to be your personal like hunting farm range where we grow deer for you, you know, instead of allowing like nature to return to the actual ecosystem that used to thrive up there before we interfered with it.
Well,
so that would be my argument against it, what you're saying. But
it's not that I don't accept your argument, but all the same, like I was saying before, the wolves absolutely demolished like a lot of the small and big game populations when they were reintroduced to the area. And I really have to strongly argue that like though people have been, you know, like wolf hunting has opened up again and all that for the first time in a very long time. The reason that there are, as the email said, only a third of the wolf population left, is not entirely because